everybody, and welcome back to Celluloid Psychosis. I am your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me as always is the very handsome, very British, the king of Salisbury himself, Mr. Paul Ashford. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, I'm really good. Happy to be here. Happy to be chatting about some physical media. How about yourself? You good?
Yes, really, really good. Lots of news today, but first,
hmm
how was your week?
It's been good, man. It's we are coming towards the end of November, so work-wise, Black Friday is off to a flyer at my work. I've been super busy. I've been having fun setting up all the displays, the sales, etc. So yeah, work is ticking along quite nicely. Outside of work, I've been having a good time. I've been good doing walks with the girlfriend, loving all the autumn colours, man. I'm waiting on some pre-orders to turn up, two of which have shipped today, which we're gonna mention in the physical media roundup. Also, my full moon set, which I ordered ages ago, will be coming tomorrow. So yeah, lots to look forward to. But yeah, man, pretty good week for me. How about yourself?
So, it's been full on at work. Lots and lots of pre-production, lots of planning. Next month's going to be filled with lots of filming,
hmm
just tons of it. We're going all out for December, prepping for some Black Friday stuff. Of course, you know what that's like. It's
hmm
it's, it's one big giant marketing push, but tapering down, buying some physical media, getting some comic books, trying to stay in the loop on all this stuff. Speaking of stay in the loop, let's start things off this week with the physical media roundup.
hmm
Yahoo! Paul, start us off.
Yeah, man. I will start us off with Turbine Media, one of my favorite labels. Obviously German. I've mentioned them quite a few times before, but quite a big surprise for me. They're releasing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 in a 4K media book. So this is the European 4K premiere. Obviously, you've got the Vinegar Syndrome version already. It's been out for some time, but finally, the European premiere is being released by Turbine. It's got some beautiful artwork. There is 6 different covers to choose from. I've gone for the one which I think is similar to the Vinegar Syndrome release. And that is shipped today, funnily enough. But also, they've done another 6 covers of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4K media book, which I've ordered as well, because I have the very old Turbine media release, which was before the days of HDR. And just throw it out there, they've done a trio of releases. They are releasing Leatherface on a 4K media book with another 6 covers. But we are talking the 2017 Leatherface, not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3, disappointingly. Shall I keep going with the German vibe? So Wicked Vision. Again, we've got a European 4K premiere. We are getting Puppet Master 3 in 4K, which again I know has come out, but Full Moon actually released that one themselves. But now we're getting the German release, a beautiful media book. This one is getting 3 different covers. I haven't pre-ordered that one, but I do have the Full Moon release, which in itself is very, very good. Move on to Criterion, shall we?
Yes.
Criterion are releasing 1970s Performance in 4K. Crossing Delancey from 1988 in 4K. Del Toro's Kronos. I call it Kronos.
Is that his first movie?
It's definitely one of his first. I think it's the first.
For sure.
I think it's the first one of his I ever saw. I saw
Mm.
this way back in the days of VHS, and I just thought it was weird. I've never
Mimic
seen it since.
is his, right?
Yeah, I guess that was more as yeah, because Mimic was more of a sort of Hollywood movie, wasn't it? So I
Yeah.
guess
That's his Weinstein movie.
Yeah. Drugstore Cowboy is coming out in 4K from the Criterion, and Punch Drunk Love, not Punch Drug Love, from 2002 is also getting a 4K Criterion release. Kino Lorber, one of your favorite labels. The Lords of Discipline from 1983. Body Parts from 1991 coming
Jeff
into
Fahey.
Yes. Sea of Love, is that Al Pacino?
Yes, maybe.
Yes. Coming to 4K. Let's Get Lost from 1988. I don't know what that one is. Invasion of the B-Girls 1973. That's a fun one. I've seen that one. Whore from 1991. one film I have not seen. I remember when it came out on VHS way back in the day, just because of the title. It was obviously controversial. Absolutely underrated slasher from the 80s. April Fool's Day is coming out from
You
Kino.
like that one?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real good. Do you not like it?
I'm indifferent about it because of the ending.
Okay.
Is it really even a slasher?
Yeah. I've got a thing for films that are based on days, like Christmas, but obviously April Fool's Day is a good one. And Reindeer Games, I know that's one of your favorite movies from 2000, is coming out. That's not a 4K, is it? That one? Is that Blu-ray?
Yeah.
And we also get an Orca in 4K from 1977.
Is that
Orca
an
the
earlier
Killer.
announcement that we didn't talk about?
I believe so, yeah. But they've just announced all the extras and bits for it. So, yeah. Shall I let you go on to Mubi? Or do you want me to carry on? Mubi are releasing The Substance in 4K. Obviously, a film I've raved about. And yeah, I'll let you carry on with Paramount.
Fix that echo, Paul. From Paramount Pictures, Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2. That is their newest offering. I'm not a fan of that show, mainly because I don't watch that show. I don't watch a lot of television unless it's The Penguin or Dune. I just the way the things are, unless I'm super interested in the franchise or the property, I really don't like all that stuff. I'm really into docuseries and documentaries, though. If it's anything involving presidents. Anyway, Umbrella Entertainment's doing hardware. Richard Stanley's hardware from 1990 in 4K UHD. I
4K.
long sought after disc is finally available to the public. Let's hope they actually have enough stock inventory units
Did
to
that
actually
one
serve the people.
Did we not recently get a Blu-ray of that one? Or am I
The
imagining
Blu-ray release was from, I want to say, RoninFlix.com, and that was super limited, and it kind of sold out. And then you know what happens when it gets sold out? The price skyrockets to fuck. And then it's just an eBay purgatory, and nobody wants to buy a $120 disc. So fuck that. Yeah. Also, coming from Umbrella, Suburban Mayhem from 2006, and
Is that the Hulk Hogan one?
No, that's Suburban Commando.
I'm joking. Shame. I'd love Suburban Commando in 4K. Wow.
The Moo Guy from 2024 to finish things off.
Gremlins.
Yes. From Decca releasing Rumors. Yeah, never watched it.
Yeah.
From Warner Brothers Home Entertainment, something that's really exciting to me. They're releasing the entire series of Penguin in 4K and Blu-ray. That's coming out next February. I want to say 25th. Don't quote me on that, but I'm excited nonetheless. And Paul, you know what they did? The spine matches the spine for the Batman release.
Ooh, I like it.
Yes.
You know, I still haven't watched this. You've told me to watch it, and I still haven't watched it, but it's on my list to watch for sure.
So some news surrounding that whole thing. Everyone's like, season two. It's really not structured that way. It's kind of structured that the Batman Part 1 exists, and then the Penguin picks up right where that ends, and then Batman Part 2 is going to pick up right where the Penguin ends, and then from what's been announced, the Joker series will pick up right where Batman Part 2, and then Batman Part 3 will pick up where that series ends. That's what one could assume. So what I was talking to with some of my coworkers is, so we know that the Joker series, he's in Arkham already, right? So we don't know who the villain is for number 2. It's rumored to be Clayface, Court of Owls. Who knows at this point? But what if 2 is about him getting out of Arkham, him and Harley interacting, and then her helping him get out of Arkham, and then it ends and with Batman Part 3 starting and the Joker's getting out of Arkham, like broke out. You know what I mean? That'd be sick. I'm like, we don't need another Joker movie. Who cares? No, we need Barry Keoghan's Joker. That's what we fucking need. I don't care about Joaquin Phoenix. I don't care about all that. I didn't watch them. I'm not going to watch them. Not about that stuff. You know what I'm about? The Batman and Matt Reeves universe. That universe is awesome. Coming from Bowser Home Video, Brokeback Mountain, longer, gayer, and uncut 4K. 2005 release that will have all the special features, including a commentary from Paul and I, where we talk about how much lubricant was used in the filming of the film. It's good stuff. We will keep you guys up to date on the release of that from Bowser Home Video. Coming next from Troma Films, Toxic Crusaders, the series from 1991 to 1993.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Now, I believe we heard rumors, ramblings
Hmm.
through the grapevine a long time ago that this was going to happen. But you know how things go with trauma. They pump the brakes. They say, hold on. You're not getting it anytime soon. We're just going to announce it prematurely.
Hmm.
Like you said before the show, they take pills for that.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
I'm shocked it's taken so long for that to come out because
Yeah.
so many people have been asking for it.
Where's the game, Paul?
Yeah,
Where's the
exactly.
game?
I mean, there's figure. I mean, people buy the figures like crazy. They keep releasing figures for it and all the good stuff, all the toys. So it's shocking that that's never come out. I actually used to have a German release of it years ago, and I sold it as part of my big purge on eBay.
Mm.
But this is the Blu-ray, isn't it? I just had DVD back then. So yeah, I reckon that's going to be a hot release for sure.
I believe the next one, this is the first time ever of us actually reporting, and that Cine Asia is
Hmm.
doing a film called Stuntman from 2024. Never heard of it, but this is a
No.
UK distributor, I believe, and they focus mostly on like Asian cinema, Hong Kong type of action films. So
Hmm.
that's really cool that there's like a unique niche, like boutique label out there doing that. Now, from Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, I love this, just like the company Home Entertainment. Love that stuff. I miss it. It's a thing that's long gone. Anyway, The Lords of Flatbush, 1974. Never saw that movie myself, but
Mm-mm.
yeah. Paul, do you want to finish things off with Severin Films? They've been announcing a new
Severin
film
Films.
every
So
day.
I mentioned Black Friday. These are their Black Friday reveals.
Yes.
Hell of the Living Dead is getting its North or American 4K premiere.
Is that Bruno
Uh,
Mattei?
sorry, yeah, it is.
Bruno
Yeah,
Mattei?
and man, I love that movie. I've got
And
the
Diodato, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I have the UK 4K of that one. I think it's
Ah,
88 films. Man, it's such a good film. Such a fun film. I wouldn't say it's a
there
good
we go. There's
and the 88 release looks amazing. I'm sure
So I
Severin.
love Bruno, but
Mhm.
I like his action films more. I
Really?
I think just because of the absurdity of them, it's
Yeah.
always like take C-list actor, put him in the jungle, the same set you see in the last three movies, and just blow up a bunch of shit. I love it. And we probably should do a whole like slew or a whole like episode dedicated to those films because they're just
Right.
fucking absurdity. That literally, there's a whole row right there.
Mhm.
That whole row right there's all Bruno Mattei action movies. Like,
Gotta love Bruno Mattei. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's probably my favorite of his films that I can think of on the top of my head. He's done a lot. He's done a lot. Also coming in 4K, Last Cannibal World, which I thought I'd seen, but I haven't because I watched a trailer on YouTube and I was like, oh no, I've definitely not seen that one. I think it goes under many different titles. I guess it's probably most well known as Last Cannibal World. Also coming in 4K, Slave of the Cannibal God, which in the UK was called Mountain of the Cannibal God.
They're
As
going
long as I've
all
got the
out with
right
the
film there.
cannibal stuff. I don't think we
Yeah.
updated this with today's release. I think it was another cannibal movie.
I thought that was Fong Girls was released. Well, it
You
was
keep
announced.
going. I'll double
Yep.
check.
So yeah, Slave of the Cannibal God, aka Mountain of the Cannibal God, 4K. Also coming to 4K, 1984's Rats Night of Terror, which is a wild film. It's probably up there with the films you'd never ever expect to see in 4K, but here we are. Eaten Alive coming to 4K from 1976. So a real cannibal theme going on with these Severin announcements this time round. Delicatessen, I think, was their first announcement from Black Friday. 1990 was Delicatessen. Bit of an art house film, that one. But also coming to 4K. And just announced today, unless TJ tells me otherwise, Fong Girls, which is a Jess Franco movie. And I've never heard of that one. I can only presume it goes under a different title in the UK because I could not find much about that movie at all online.
I am
Um,
wrong. I saw a trailer for Last Cannibal World that said carnivorous, and I thought it was something else.
oh yes, yeah, that's one of its alternate titles. Yeah.
Ah, there's the confusion, Paul.
There's a question for you. So Severin, they announced all these films and they're coming out very soon. Do you prefer these announcements where you can get to pre-order it and it's out in a couple of weeks, or do you like the ones that we're talking about that you pre-order now and you're not getting them for 3-4 months?
I prefer the Vinegar Syndrome, like the way they
Right.
have it set up, where they give us an opportunity to do it a little bit early and even
Yep.
buy films that are complete mysteries. And then they have a Black Friday sale. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time we actually do get the films, it's actually closer to Black Friday.
Oh, that's
Well,
clever.
no, closer to Christmas, I would say.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah, yeah.
closer to Christmas. So I feel like that's more conducive to filming,
Mm-hmm.
releasing these films. But
Interesting, yeah.
yeah.
I quite like the Instant because, like I say, Turbine did that with Texas Chainsaw.
See,
They announced
I'm
them.
used to buying films and then waiting 25, 30 days to get them. I
Yeah.
mean, even whenever I buy stuff from Imprint, how far ahead are their announcements?
Oh,
You know what
God,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I think
And
they're
it takes an
probably,
age to ship as well.
yeah, they're definitely the ones that announce that far out. And then if you're in the
Mm-hmm.
States, it's taking forever. And Paul, you probably get a little bit sooner than me, but
I don't know.
who knows? We'd have to time.
So,
We should time
an
that one of these
yeah,
days
that's an interesting project.
for science.
Right, you thrilled your never-ending story. Let's see who gets it first.
The big one you sent me the
Yeah,
picture of today.
yeah,
It'd have to go like right there. You know
yeah.
what I
That's
mean?
at the
Because it's
top.
just so big. What release are we talking about there, Paul?
That was the Severin releases. So we finished on Fong Girls, which I believe was announced today from Jess Franco.
Yes. Finish us off with 88.
Yeah, 88 films are releasing The Haunted House of Horror from 1969, Story of a Cloistered Nun
Oh.
from 1973, Rouge, not Rogue, from 1987. And then we have Love and To Waste from 86 and Love and Crime from 1969. And interestingly, one of those releases is also a US release. And to our knowledge, I believe that is the first time 88 films are releasing a movie in the US. I should have marked which one it was because I haven't. But I want to say it might have been, it's one of the Love films. It's either Love and To Waste or Love and Crime. But that's pretty interesting that they're doing a US release. I guess they're testing the waters. A bit like Synapse have done in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of little releases coming out in the UK now, so it's cool to see a bit of cross-border shipping going on between the labels there. So yeah, very cool. Right, should we talk about what's going in the cinema right now? Shall I let you pass
Yes,
on?
let's do. I will want to say one more thing that
Mhm.
from Cauldron Films, the House of Doom set, that Fulci Lenzi box set, is discounted to 104.99 from the previous price of 130 right now. That
So
is
is this like the House of Clock, the House of the
yes,
Clocks on the
correct.
wall?
That you
Yeah.
are. That is 4 Blu-rays, 2 CDs.
Oof.
Really good set. Really looks like a good box. I've ordered several Cauldron stuff. Highly recommend it. So if you are a Fulci fan like Paul and I, definitely go
Mhm.
out there and get that. I
Oh yeah.
hopefully can pick that up before the supply runs out because damn, I completely forgot it even existed till now.
They're not much. We don't hear much from Cauldron Films. I guess they're
No, they have some of those movies. They did Ratman, and then they did American Rickshaw, stuff like that. They did a
Mhm.
lot of good movies. They don't get as much exposure as, let's say, a
No,
Vinegar Syndrome or a Severin.
no.
So let's move on to now in theaters, films that are playing right now. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff.
Mhm.
Wicked, that is the prequel film to Wizard of Oz. That's the film that
Yeah,
focuses on the witches. Not my bag, baby. We will
not
probably
at all.
skip that one.
I do love Return to Oz though.
Yes, that film is perfect.
Yeah,
And people should talk about that film more because it's
yeah, that'd be a good one for us to review.
good for the kids. Another one good for the kids, just like that. Return to Oz. Moana 2. Yes. So the long-awaited return of the Moana. Yeah.
Mm,
Good stuff.
yeah.
Hopefully, Dwayne The Rock Johnson didn't piss on bottles on this set. Anyway, Gladiator 2 featuring Denzel Washington and Pedro Pascal. And I heard
Right.
they removed the gay kiss scene. So,
Mm,
yeah.
that movie is getting rave reviews as well. I imagine it's gonna blow away the box office for sure.
Did they have Hans Zimmer return?
I don't know. Do you know what? I didn't even know. It was literally weeks ago that I knew this
This is
film
an
existed.
underhyped Ridley Scott film. I remember
Yeah.
the days when everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Ridley Scott, it's a big film," and now
Yeah.
it's just like direct to streaming.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know this film was coming out until a few weeks ago. I was just like, Gladiator 2. I thought it was a joke, but no, there really is. And I watched the trailer. It looks good from the trailer. Yeah, I've heard nothing on this until a few weeks ago. So yeah, you gonna go watch it?
No.
No. I did like the first one. The first one was way back in the early days of DVD, wasn't it? And I remember that was huge when it came out on DVD. But I don't know. I'll see it at some point, probably when it's free on streaming. I expect when
To
it's on
answer
Netflix.
Rick Paulton in the comments, the films
Hmm.
in that set are The House of Clocks, The Sweet House of Horrors, The House of Witchcraft, and The House of Lost Souls. These
Wow.
are 4 film stories that was made for an Italian television in 1989. But of course,
Hmm.
who the hell would tell Fulci to make a safe for TV thing? Clearly didn't work out that way, and these movies came to be. So
Awesome.
moving on. Conclave. The fuck
Yeah,
is that?
that's the Ralph Fiennes about the Vatican and the Pope. Looks pretty. I want to say controversial, but I guess anything to do with that sort of stuff is that way. But obviously, Ray Fiennes. I say Ralph Fiennes. Ray Fiennes, very good actor.
Phineas.
Not my bag at all. If we're talking about bags, but yeah, it's in the cinemas now.
Mhm.
Honora is also out. I watched the trailer for that. It looks quite good.
I heard
Uh,
good reviews. Good
yeah,
reviews.
yeah. It's I think it's film festivals, all that stuff. It's got the girl that I only know her from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She was one of the Manson girls in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But hearing great things about her recently, so yeah, should be good. Heretic, which we've mentioned before.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant in a bad guy role. That looks really good. I think that's doing good
Did
business as
you see
well.
the Jar Jar Binks scene that's circulating?
Which one?
The Jar Jar Binks scene.
No,
He
what with Hugh Grant?
interrupts like a very like tense scene and goes off on a rant about Jar Jar Binks and even does a Jar Jar Binks impression.
Right. Hugh
Like
Grant does.
Hugh Grant does.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's in the movie. At least that's what I saw. Like, yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's
Rick
interesting.
said it was great. So
Yeah.
okay. Speaking of one that's not so great and pissing in bottles, Red One featuring Dwayne the Rock Johnson, which is probably a contender for one of the most expensive modern movies. Just because I think
Yeah.
$250 million it cost, and we're
That's
sitting at
crazy.
below 50 million in the box office right now. Literally nobody asked for this.
No.
Nobody wants Dwayne Johnson in these roles anymore. The
Mm-mm.
the horse has been beaten. Like, come on now. It's just silliness.
So,
It's just,
wasn't this originally made for Netflix or something? And they
yes, it was
decided
made
to
for Netflix.
throw it in the cinema.
Well, they have to try to recoup any of this fucking money back.
I guess so. Yeah. But, yeah. I saw the trailer.
And it doesn't even help that I know that for sure that Dwayne diva'd out in this. So
Yeah. 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 I won't be watching that one. I don't think that's going to be a
one you
Christmas
will be
favorite.
watching is the best Christmas pageant ever.
No, I won't. I watched the trailer. Is that good enough? Because
Yeah.
I didn't know. I hadn't heard of that one. I watched the trailer. It looks, yeah, it's probably better than the red. It's probably more entertaining than the red one. I would say. But yeah.
Smile 2 with what is it? Whose son? Who's in that? Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson's.
Yep.
Yep. Jack Nicholson's son. Yep. Yeah, that looks. Yeah, the first one was pretty good.
Is it? For the next pick, is it Rosenberg or Eisenberg?
Eisenberg. That's spelling.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's written, directed, and starring Jesse Eisenberg.
We're talking about a real pain. Yes.
Yeah, and it's also Kieran Culkin, not
Yes.
Macaulay Culkin.
Nice to see his career flourishing right now, Kieran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I've watched the trailer for this. It looks good. It looks really good. I think there are a couple of guys that go on holiday. I think they go to Poland because there's some scenes when they're. It looks fun. It's kind of like Americans on a European road
There's
trip.
a Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd movie coming up soon that I'm really excited for. I hope it's going to be really good. I'm a big Tim Robinson fan. So was my daughter.
Right.
And I'd love to, and I just can't wait. I hope they let him go all out.
We Live in Time is also in theaters at the moment. That is the what's his guy? Spider-Man, and I forgot
Which
the
one?
female. Garfield.
Yeah.
And I
He's
forgot
handsome.
the one. Yeah, it's like it's a romantic movie. Girlfriend's more interested than I am in that one. So yeah. And Elevation is also out now. That's an actioner starring the new Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what other movie news we got, TJ?
Oh, do we got movie news? The day is upon us, gentlemen. James Cameron's first movie, Terminator 4K.
Mm-hmm.
4K. No, is Terminator James Cameron's first movie?
The Terminator.
Yeah, The Terminator. And yeah,
Well, I know. I mean, let's talk now. Piranha was his
Piranha
first
2.
movie.
Yes,
Or
this is
Piranha
the
2.
second
Oh, yeah,
film.
sorry. Piranha was
Joe Dante.
Gremlins. Yeah, Joe Dante. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Second
yeah.
film. Sorry there.
Yep.
But yes, so the big controversy over James Cameron's films, old Jimmy there, is he
Mm-hmm.
likes to do AI scrubbing to his films. He likes to do the AI upscaling, where he
Yeah.
takes the things and he scrubs the fuck out of it and takes all the grain, and you're like, ah, what is that? And it looks like puppets, it looks like wax, and nobody wants to deal with that. So, what's been going on? As in the Terminator release, everybody's like, it's going to do the same thing. He's going to do the same thing. It's going to look
Mm-hmm.
awful. It's his lowest budget film. And what the fuck happens? No, it actually looks great. And
Yeah.
every review we see looks fantastic. And I just
Yep.
love the fact that we're also doing the show on the day that it comes out. But this is rad. And I hopefully this is a step in the right direction to future releases, and
Mm-hmm.
people are going to stray away from the 4K like AI crap, because AI is the devil, AI is Satan. Anybody that uses that is a cheap hack. Paul?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it looks great. I've watched a lot of reviews on YouTube. There's been clips on YouTube. Also, you can't really tell the exact quality from a YouTube stream, but it looks really good. And like every review has been really positive. I really hope now they re-release a 4K of Terminator 2.
That's properly graded.
Yeah, because that wasn't AI'd, was it? That was just a poor transfer for some reason. I mean, one of the
And it was
greatest films of all time.
colored
They missed it.
odd. But that film's
Yeah.
always been colored odd.
So I hope that's next on the agenda, because I'm sure this Terminator is going to sell bucket loads, because everyone's talking about it. All the movie files are talking about it.
Speaking of sci-fi things, let's go to Predator Badlands. So Dan Trechtenberg, how the fuck you say his name? However you say his name, the guy who did Prey, that movie is fantastic. He's doing a movie called Predator Badlands, and that movie's going to be like the Alien versus Predator movie, where it kind of introduces the Predator as like the protagonist. So you're kind of like rooting for him the whole time.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, something I did spot in the teaser photo that we did see, the Predator looked a little feminine to me. And what I've seen in the comic books is the females of the Predators, what are they called? The Yachuta or something like that. I don't know how to fucking pronounce anything. They are a lot more feminine in figure and wear the masks and stuff still. So I want to say that we're going to have a female Predator. Like I kind of want that. So if that's the case, fuck yeah, brother. We need that all day. Just because the chicks need some love too. You know what I mean? It's been a sausage fest in Predator Land, excluding the last film.
Definitely. So yeah, this is early days on that. There's no trailer. There is a fake trailer which I almost clicked on, but yeah, no.
And we did get news that there's going to be another Predator movie releasing prior to this, but I also heard it's going to be animated. So it's going to be like, let's put all the Predators in different situations type thing. I could be hearing wrong, but that also could be really cool, because then you could be like, put Predator in this situation, put a Predator in this situation. Yeah. And I think if you got like the right animators on board, so like if it's like Predator in Japan, Predator in World War II, and it's like the right eras, and like have an anime people on the stuff, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If you match the animators and style to the right era and the right setting, you'll get a really good product.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it.
Speaking of animation,
or not animated, actually.
Yeah, or kind of animated. So Universal have just released a teaser trailer for How to Train Your Dragon, but it's classed as a live action version.
The TV show was immensely popular. The franchise is immensely popular. Probably the closest thing that rivals Shrek that DreamWorks has.
It's like huge. I mean, I love the original films, all of them. I think they're all really good.
They have a lot of heart.
Toothless is really cool. Yeah. Obviously, it's like a cat. It's like a giant cat, but he's a dragon. So this is the first we've all seen on this. So it's a live action version from DreamWorks.
One of the few things, excluding Star Wars, where we see the voice actor play the same character in live action.
Was that? I forgot the guy's name.
Gerard Butler.
Oh, what I thought that because in you're talking about I
The
forgot
dad character, or whatever.
the dad character. Okay, I thought you were talking about I forgot his name, the kid who
No,
befriends
no,
two
no, no, no,
kids.
no, no.
No, because that was the guy from This Is the End
Mm.
in all those movies, wasn't
That
it?
movie
But
kicks ass.
yeah, so the trailer looks like a scene for scene remake of the original animated movie, and it says live action, which it is, but it's heavy CGI'd. I thought
Well,
from that
yeah,
trailer.
fucking dragons are hard to come by these days, Paul.
Yeah, but even the guy in it looks heavy CGI'd, like the backgrounds, everything. I was just like, it kind of.
Tell
Honestly,
me you don't
when
like Marvel movies
you
without
sent me the
telling me
link
you
to that
don't like
trailer,
Marvel
and I
movies.
was like, "Is this a fake? Is this one of these fake trailers?" I'm seeing so many fake trailers nowadays. If it wasn't actually on the Universal Pictures YouTube page, I would have thought it's a fake trailer, honestly.
Mhm.
But hey, it's Universal Pictures. It's going to be good. But I don't know. That first look kind of thing was like it was a teaser trailer. You know how many
Yeah,
teaser trailers have looked pants, and then the
you know
movie
what
comes
did
out.
look bad? We got a full version of the Minecraft trailer today, and that looked
Oh
fucking
no,
terrible.
really?
Yeah.
Do we have to talk about that?
Oh, I think we're done with Jack Black and Momoa for a while.
Yeah,
Let them go
he's
do things for a while and then come back. We need an
yeah.
absence.
Actually, there was another Jack Black. Well, there's a pretty evil Santa in the end. Something I forgot about that.
Yeah, no Satan. He plays fucking
Satan.
Satan.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, I don't know. He's just ever since that thing that happened, political thing. It's just like, yeah, I
Yeah, he
don't
kind
know.
of shot himself in the dick there.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
kind of being associated to it. But like I mentioned earlier in the show, Dune, baby. I love Dune. If you don't like Dune, you're missing out. Dune 1 and 2, Paul and I absolutely loved our experiences watching those films. We
Hmm.
watched Dune Part 2 earlier this year, and our cinema experience was phenomenal. We talked and ranted about it on here.
Hmm.
We finally have a show originally titled Dune Sisterhood, taking inspiration from seeing if I have it next to me. The
Hmm.
Sisterhood book written by Brian Herbert,
Yeah.
which essentially explains the prophecy of Paul Atreides,
Oh, forget me. Sorry.
Moadib, all that stuff. 10,000 years prior to this, believe we're actually going to see House Carino, which
Hmm.
is a house we don't see in the Dune films. We only see House Harkonnen and Atreides in the live action Denny Villeneuve. And it's cool seeing Max invest in these auteur directors like Matt Reeves and Denny Villeneuve, and then allow them to executive produce these projects that allows them to expand their cinematic universes even further. And if Dune Prophecy is anything like Penguin, which according to the IGN review, which I'll talk about this here because Paul knows about this.
Hmm.
The Penguin was reviewed 5 out of 10 by IGN, and I gave a big hoot and holler about IGN's fucking stupid. They're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. And then they gave Doom Prophecy the exact same review. So one can expect the Doom Prophecy to be on par with Penguin. I mean, we only have one episode. It's on Max right
Hmm.
now. But I highly urge people to go watch it just because I'm such a big fan of the books. I'm literally looking at every Dune book next to me. I collect all the comic books. I love Brian Herbert stuff. See, Brian's different than his dad only because he adds a little bit like more spiritual stuff to the lore, where Frank kind of stayed away from that. When you kind of read the first Dune book, it's almost like reading the Bible. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
it's kind of like a, I don't know. It's kind of like that's all the thing I can literally liken it to. The way that Frank talks is just so different. That Brian has his own, like him and Kevin Anderson. Kevin also wrote like the Tales of series in Star Wars. So I've been a friend of, like, not a friend, but a fan of Kevin for very, very long. Back whenever I was a high school
Hmm.
kid reading his books. But his later Dune books, that prequel stuff, fantastic. Paul of Dune, all that stuff is great. Moving on, the last Showgirl trailer we got Pam Anderson, Dave
Hmm.
Batista with
Yeah.
long hair, looking handsome as ever. I'm here for it. I think, you know what? I'm here for the Pamela Anderson Renaissance because I feel like she's an undiscovered talent, and maybe in her experienced age, I believe that maybe she can deliver something unique here. And from the trailer, it looks like it's how do you want to say it's inventively shot, just because
Yeah,
it looks like it's something different. It looks like Darren Aronofsky would have filmed it or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Again, I almost thought it was a fake trailer. I was like, "What's
Yeah.
this?" 'Cause it looked like I said art house. I said like art house showgirls, as in Verhoeven showgirls, but done in an
Yes.
art house style. So it's obviously a slightly similar story or theme. But yeah, Pam Anderson looks to be acting her chops off in this in the trailer. This could be like I said, this could be the rebirth of Pam Anderson. It looks good. I'm definitely interested. I heard nothing on it until today when you sent me that trailer, and I was like, wow, okay, this does look interesting. So yeah, who knows? Is it going to be Oscar material? We're going to see Pam Anderson on the stage.
Dude, I want it to be. Part of me really, really wants it to be, because I love her in Baywatch. I'm one of
Yeah,
the few people
it's
that watch Baywatch unironically and like, oh yeah, there's a
I
serial
love
killer
Baywatch.
story in
Yeah,
this one. It's
yeah.
great. I'm kind of the same way when it comes to Miami Vice and
Mhm.
anything when it's like that. I love it. I'm a sucker
I
for it.
reckon I reckon it'll go one way or the other. She's
Yeah.
either going to be highly praised and get awards, or she's going to be completely trashed by the media.
I
I'm not
think
sure
that we're
which.
in the era where we're seeing these older actors that we really love and appreciate, or these figures actually
Hmm.
have like a resurgence. Look at
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser's career after The
Oh
Whale.
yeah. Demi
Definitely
Moore and Substance as
Demi
well.
Moore.
Hmm.
Exactly. I think that this is a period in cinema. I mean, one could argue we're definitely in a decline as far as quality wise. I mean, yeah, we're having some hits here and there, but they're not coming from the Hollywood system. They're coming
Mm.
from the smaller studios, and I think that that's really where the industry as a whole is going to start focusing as, especially with Terrifier 3, if that's any sort of indicator of where the audience is really wants to put their
Yeah.
money. Uh, I think that we're going to see companies A24 and stuff like that start to rise, and then these other bigger studios start to struggle. And I think that
All those Marvel superhero movies, man.
yes, they're going to start regretting those things. And I think that
Yeah.
that's why James Gunn is gravitating towards more of the R rating stuff, because he's
Hmm.
seeing shows like The Boys and what's that, the animated one, Invincible on
Yeah.
Amazon, do really good within those things. You know, Zack Snyder was doing it before it was cool, and everybody was like, yeah, it's too dark and all that stuff. But that's kind of like the cool thing now is how dark can we make these superheroes? And Marvel's still hammering home with the good old tried and true Disney formula, and that's fine if you're in for that. But I'm more in for like a superhero story that challenges the viewer and the watcher. That's more grounded in reality, kind of like the new Batman films. I
Yeah.
think if we're going to keep getting the same product over and over and over again from Marvel, whether that be the new Captain America movie, Agatha All Along, that is just still more of the same stuff. And I think that a company like that can only sustain that for so long before the viewership is going to drop off. And I think that
Hmm.
we're already seeing that decline. They've already beaten Star Wars to a fucking bloody pulp. We're now at a stage that Marvel's going to start doing it. I hope James Gunn is steering DC in the right direction. He announced today that Peacekeeper Season 1 is not actually canon except the final scene, which makes me think that they're going to have John Cena wake up in a hospital bed. And then all of season 1 was just a fucking bad dream, with the
Right.
exception of him seeing the Justice League, which explains why the Justice League was silhouetted at the end of Peacemaker. But that's besides the point. If you fuck up Crypto, I'm going to be mad. Uh, Moving on to things that are also really cool. Billy Zane is criminally underrated as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic actor. Waltzing
He's
with
the guy
Brando.
from Critters.
Yes. And what's the Tales from the Crypt movie?
Oh, Demon Knight. Oh my God,
Demon
yeah.
Knight,
One of my all-time
yes. And
favorites.
he's
Yeah.
the asshole in Titanic.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we've seen photos of him as Marlon Brando
Hmm.
for months, a year
Yeah.
now. And it was him in full, like, can I say dog face when I say Brando? Is that
Go for it.
acceptable? Like he has
Whatever,
that,
man.
the droopy, the,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and we're like, what the fuck is this project? What the fuck is this project? We
Hmm.
got a trailer today. Marlon Brando, played by Billy Zane,
Yeah.
countered by John Heater, one of my
Yeah.
favorite actors of all time,
Yeah.
is in this motherfucker. And I'm excited. It looks fantastic. It's essentially the story about Marlon Brando wanting to build a resort slash his house slash a filming set on a deserted island and be
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
self-sustainable. and then him bringing this famous architect on board to try to make it happen, and it
Mm-hmm.
going completely awry and sideways. Did you notice the Richard Dreyfuss cameo?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That is
It was hat on.
phenomenal.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I was so worried that he wasn't going to work anymore after some of his
Mm-hmm.
weirder stuff that he's been going on.
Yeah.
But damn, do I love Richard Dreyfuss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so cool to see him back doing stuff.
Honestly, when I saw the island, I thought, oh no, this is going to be something to do with the island of Dr. Maru or Moreau.
But that's already been done to hell.
That's got its own documentary, hasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, I didn't know the story about him wanting to buy an island or put his hotel on an island. So yeah, looks really good, and he looks legitimately like Marlon Brando as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, the trailer definitely recommend at least watching the trailer because this looks cool. I think it's a little way off yet, isn't it? Is it January maybe?
Yeah, we're still way off, but
Mm-hmm.
they properly introduced, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
properly are marketing this film. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Fincher, David Fincher, the Finch Man.
Mm-hmm.
7. You know, what's in the box? What's in the box? Definitely not a severed head. IMAX, January 3rd, 2025. I'm excited. Paul's excited.
Yeah, well, not that there's many IMAX cinemas near me, but actually there's one in Bournemouth, but it's quite a small one.
I'm not a big fan of IMAX unless it's Christopher Nolan or Zack Snyder. Anything else can go fuck itself.
Okay.
Oh, Dune. I will say that the Dune IMAX scenes.
I saw Avatar. The last film I saw in IMAX was Avatar, the second one. That was 3D IMAX, and
you fancy those films?
The what do you call it? Like it was an experience. The film itself, yeah. The story's been done way, especially the second one. The first one was good. The first one was like so different and out there. The second one.
Do you think it took too long in between, and that's what hampered it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was shocked at how well the second one did.
When you go with the franchise type thing, it really depends on time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to keep that ball rolling, and you can't release it too soon and not too late. You have to release it right on the sweet spot where people are like, okay, I've watched this enough. I got to need more. And I think that's, you can't do what they're doing with Avatar.
And they kind of dug up 3D again because 3D had gone from the cinemas, hasn't it? Suddenly that came back out in 3D. And now there's certain physical media coming back in 3D as well, which is crazy because you can't even buy the TVs anymore. So are they trying to resurrect 3D yet again? Who knows?
There's a time and place for 3D, but I'll tell you what, it's not at home. Anyway, so finishing things off, Kevin Smith has confirmed that Dogma 2 is in the works with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon returning and not just a cameo. Paul?
No, that's good. It's good that they're both returning in their original roles. I don't know. Kevin Smith films for me have felt a bit watered down for quite some time now. I did quite enjoy his last one, which
What is your favorite Kevin Smith film?
Oh, I really like Mallrats.
Ah, my boy, a man of my own heart.
Really, yeah. Obviously,
Now,
Clerks is
the last
classic.
Kevin Smith film you saw was the 4:30 film at
it's a surprise screening. Complete shock. I was expecting. There was no.
You watched the 35 millimeter print, man.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a 35
No,
mm
it was
print.
ditch.
No, they actually said this is the only film we're showing this weekend that's not a 35 mm. They didn't give any clues until the seconds before the screen when the guy came on stage.
I think the only director that modern studios would do that for is like Nolan or Tarantino.
Probably, yeah. You
know what I mean?
did the same company that I went to. They did show Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 35 mm. That was cool. But yeah, it's complete shock screening. It was good. It was good, man. But all his films just feel a bit. Maybe it's because I'm older. He's older. I'm older. We're older. I don't know. It's but it's good. It is a good hour and a half of entertainment. So when I first heard about this Dogma 2, I was like, it's gonna be like Clerks 3, you know. But
Mallrats I can connect to so much because of my early 20s. Yeah, I totally feel that, and I'm sure you feel the same way. And at that time, that was the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's such a good cast as well.
Yeah.
Such a good, and the soundtrack. I had the soundtrack on CD. I played it to death as a teenager. So yeah, it was cool.
So moving on to recommendation of the week, Paul, what's your recommendation?
I'm going to go with 1992's Kung Fu Rascals, directed by Steve
Wang.
Steve Wang. So this has just had a release from Visual Vengeance on Blu-ray.
Give
The
the
Blu-ray
disclaimer,
is
Paul. Give the disclaimer.
well. The disclaimer is it's absolutely stacked with extras, new interviews,
The real
behind the
disclaimer,
scenes,
Paul.
everything. But they're kind of making up for the picture quality. It is. We're talking like VHS transfer because that is the only, I think, the only elements of this movie left. So just pre-warn you, if you buy this Blu-ray, you're not going to get a Blu-ray HD beautiful picture. It is like a video transfer. However, the extras, all that good stuff, make up for it, and it's got the crazy. If you've seen this movie, you'll know the song. The whole song is over the Blu-ray menu, and it's all animated. It's so clever. I would almost say it's worth it just for the menu screen. It's super cool. However, if you don't want to shell out for the Blu-ray, which is only £18 on Amazon in the UK at the moment for some reason, it is also streaming for free on Tubi. So yeah,
James
but it's such a
Caan?
fun film. It's one of Steve Wang's first directed movie. The story behind it is crazy, how it got made. Obviously, if you know Steve Wang, he is an amazing special effects guy. But this is a good kung fu action movie with some special effects thrown in there as well. It's got Troy Froman in it, who I love. He was the bully from Saved by the Bell. He's
Shout
also
out
in
to Troy Froman.
yeah.
Been in a
He's
couple
also
Project Otter
I
shows.
always remember him as the guy smoking pot at the start of Return of the Living Dead Part 2, uncredited in that role, but
Or
it's a
is the
super cool
cop
role.
in Alf?
Yeah,
The
copping out. I
two-parter
mean, he's done loads of stuff, to be fair.
Yeah. Saved by the Bell.
Shrunken Heads by Full Moon, he was in that as well. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we could
Saved by
go
the
on
Bell,
for
obviously.
days
Yeah.
for our love for Troy Froman. Shout out Troy Froman, you're a badass.
Mhm.
Yes.
What's your recommendation, TJ?
So I recently watched a documentary on Street Fighter, and now growing up, and I know Paul's different because Paul was a Sega guy. I was a
We
Street
got the
Fighter.
better version of Street Fighter 2, though,
Yes.
on the Mega Drive.
That's no, your music was shit. You know it. I was a Street Fighter guy, wasn't a Mortal Kombat guy. I produced a podcast. About Mortal Kombat because I understand the appeal of the love for Mortal Kombat. But
Mhm.
when it comes to classic fighting games, I'm going to say Street Fighter 2 is the definitive fighting game. And I'm not going to say what versions because there's all. What's your favorite version of Street Fighter, Paul?
Oof. As I said, the first one I properly played was Championship Edition or Champion Edition on the Mega Drive / Genesis, purely because that's the only one, the first one that came out on a console that I could play it on. But really, it's Street Fighter 2, the proper arcade one, because that's the one that I played the most in the arcade.
See, I played Super Street Fighter the most.
So it came out in the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, and that's the one, I think it's called the New Fighters, Challengers.
Right.
And that's the one that had like T-Hawk and stuff and Cammy.
Saying that, can we include X-Men versus Street Fighter? Because I played that game on the Sega Saturn, Japanese Sega Saturn release. I still play that today. It's an incredible game.
But anyway, I'm not recommending that documentary. That documentary is fucking awesome. But what I am recommending is Street Fighter 2, the animated movie from 1994. There is a 4K disc out there, and there's also a VCD, Paul.
Really? I used to have the VHS back in the day.
Really? Yeah, that movie is badass. One of the coolest openings ever, and the fight versus evil Ken at the end, fucking cool as shit. I watched that film as a kid and was like, "Fuck yeah, this movie's badass."
A lot of them die in it, from what I remember.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit that goes on.
Yeah.
It's just bloody, like the opening whenever like Ryu's fighting Sagat, and there's the goddamn like lightning going on. There's the music, and if you watch the American version, there's a lot of like modern American music from the '90s that's in there. There's fucking Korn, Alice in Chains, like Ken's like driving his Porsche, like fucking shifting gears, going through, and he's like jamming Alice in Chains, and I'm like, hell yeah! There's like fucking Korn at the end. It's awesome. The whole thing's awesome. Totally recommend going back and watching that. I'd put it up there with the Transformers, the movie film, like as far as animated films. It is really, really good. I know Transformers, the movie is phenomenal, but I'd put it up there in like the echelon of like greatness with animated films up there.
Actually, you were telling me that the Neverending Story was a childhood trauma movie. What about Transformers the movie?
See, I was always a Decepticon guy, even growing up. So seeing Optimus die,
Explains a lot.
and I know I'm a generation removed from Transformers. My Transformers I grew up with was like more of the anime style ones, the Energon like stuff, because
Like
the whole
Beast Wars and
90s and
not
stuff.
Beast Wars and stuff.
Beast Wars is
Mm-hmm.
probably more my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and watched all that stuff. So whenever I did go back and watch Transformers the movie, I see now and I recognize it as probably the best animated film of all time. It's just
Best soundtrack as well.
yeah, absolutely. I listened to it today, the entire soundtrack today at work, and I just cranked it. I don't care about my neighbor office. Fuck them. Anyway, love it, and yeah, that movie's badass. This movie, yeah, the whole Optimus dying thing. I mean, it hits different people differently. Yeah, spoiler. But I also like Hot Rod and all that stuff. And
But you said you're a big fan of Magnus Prime, didn't you? So.
no, fuck him. He's a pussy. I think we even talked about that the day I rewatched it. I was like, fuck Magnus. He's like a pussy. Anyway. So, next week, Paul, we got a doozy. We're back with the movie review. We're going to have a special guest on, one of my friends. Joe's going to be joining us. Paul, there you go. You're just finding out for the first time. But anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Secret of the Ooze from 1991. Now, I know we didn't review the first film, and enough podcasts have. This film, like Halloween 5, it's going to be an in defense of type scenario. I'm probably going to come at it from a different angle. I'm a little blinded when it comes to TMNT stuff just because I grew up and it was arguably my favorite thing ever. My mom probably attest to that. She definitely did make things better by allowing me to get as much stuff as I did. I was rocking TMNT stuff constantly. And this film resonated with me hard, still resonates with me. I watched the 1990 film. I think it's a masterpiece. This film, yes, I can see where people don't like it because it's not on par with one. I mean, and at least it's not number 3. My daughter loves Turtles in Time, though. So it's not, you know what I mean? The whole thing is weird. I'm excited to talk about this film. I never had a chance to talk Turtles before on the Project Louder network, so I'm excited. Paul, what do you think, man?
I'm excited too. I love the Turtles films, the 90s ones, or yeah, they are 90s, aren't they? Just about 1990 was the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I remember huge hype. I remember it well. I'll talk about it next week. But yeah, no, I love the Turtles films. I love part 2 as well, without going into it. But
Nunchuck salamis, that's all we'll say. But if you like this podcast and you want to find other podcasts just like
so is this Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, do you mean?
Yes, because of the Queen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, if you like this podcast and want to hear other podcasts just like this one, head on over to projectlouder.net or anywhere else that you consume audio-only content. Apple, Spotify, Google, all that jazz. We are there. Listen to the next episode. We'll be here, same bat time, same bat channel. I am TJ Bowser. That's Paul Ashford. Tally ho.